Welcome to Washington East to West Sports, episode 157. I am Matt Beatty, joined alongside, as usual, by Sean Beatty and Kevin Ardall. If you want to get involved in the show, go ahead and blue sky at us. I'm a Master B. Sean's at NastyBilly22. Kevin is Emerald Bowler on X. Sean is NastyBilly22. Kevin is C to believe, SEA to believe. Subscribe to us on YouTube, like our videos, tell us what you think of the topics we talk about in the comments below. Guys, I think I can say it. It's a little early, but I think it's football season. I think it's football season. Now, I'm going to start off. Hard Knocks debuted like 2 hours ago. I don't think anyone here has watched it yet. I don't think
I
any of you
have
guys are that.
2 minutes left. I have 2 minutes left.
Oh, okay. So you have watched it. Okay.
hmm
Spoiler free. What did you think of the first episode?
I don't know what spoilers there are. I mean,
I don't want to know who they're featuring or who they're talking about. I don't just like
they're
is
not
it
even really
entertaining?
featuring anybody. Taylor Swift is mentioned once.
Oh.
I mean, they talk about the quarterback and the coach. I mean, obviously, but like, there's no shocking person I would say they discuss. They
Because
talk about
usually
the offensive player of the year, obviously a little
well,
bit, but there's nobody that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they talk about this guy.
There's usually I don't know how much you watch Hard Knocks. There's usually like one guy who they like kind of do like a deeper dive on who's like undrafted or like trying to make the
I've
team, you
never
know.
seen one episode of Hard Knocks before this,
Okay.
so this is my first one. So,
Okay.
but it has not happened yet. So, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. But it's an interesting. There's one guy with a potty mouth. We were watching it in front of with the kiddos, and then the running backs coach has a potty mouth, and he dropped like 14 f bombs in about 3 minutes, and I was like, all right, we're turning this off. It's time to go upstairs and take a shower because this guy cannot be on the screen. He has too many potty mouth, too many f bombs. So yeah, I got the first four went by, and then he like paused and did a mother f bomb, and then Nolan perked up, and I was like, oh, he's aware of this now. Okay, we are not watching this anymore. Yeah,
KP's
no.
like, you don't get to pick the what's on
She
TV
turned. She
anymore.
was turned, and she caught it too, and looked at me, and I was already turning the TV off. I was like, yep, that was a clear as day. Yeah, yeah. So he
All
has a
right.
party.
Well, I will watch it at some point, hopefully within the next couple of days, but let's talk a little bit about training camp. There's been um a little bit of news here and there. So, at least according to ESPN, some of the stories are wide receiver Torrey Horton healthy after cracking tibia last season. Pro Bowl defensive lineman Leo Williams confirms deal talks. Seattle's Nick Eamon has ankle surgery expected to play week one. And then who are the Koslas? Meet the family who bought the Seahawks. So I'm gonna ask Kevin first, and Sean's wearing Mariners gear. Kevin, have you heard any Seahawks news? Is there anything interesting on your end from the Seahawks point of view of training camp?
Um, I just been seeing kind of highlights from practice and some heads up plays. There was a nice toe tap catch, kind of like reminiscent of like Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett by Mr. Horton. That was really nice to see. I didn't even know he was back until I saw that video, and I was like, oh.
I don't think anybody really did. No one
I
knew.
was like,
Yeah.
oh, he's on the field. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's good news. That's nothing but good news. So I'm excited to see that. Um, let's see. Nice pass catch by Price for a touchdown was really nice to see. So the man can catch, receiving as well as run the ball. So that's a nice little. I mean, of course, like it's just one. Like he could drop every other one after that, but like it essentially shows you that he's kind of like a dual threat. Like he can catch and also run the ball. So that's good. Um, a really heads up play by Witherspoon that prevented a touchdown to Shaquille in the back. I think it was Shaquille. Maybe it was somebody else in the back corner of the end zone. He just like heads up last minute, like bumped the ball up to make it to where like it was uncatchable. It was probably really gonna be a tough catch anywho. It was almost like a Tyler Lockett type of catch, like in the corner end zone type deal, just a different angle. But it was still like a nice heads up play. Like he just did it really quick and then and a couple others just highlights that but it's training camp. Like, you know, it is what it is. Like it's nice to see, but at the end of the day, like Doesn't mean it's going to be like, oh, that they're going to do that game one. Like, it's like, is Price going to catch a touchdown in game one? Maybe, but like it
Maybe.
doesn't translate. I mean, it gives you like a little specifics and things along that line, but I'm mainly just waiting for preseason to kind of see the rookies and the undrafted play, and then yeah. So nothing too crazy to be honest.
Sean, anything that has piqued your interest about camp? Any headlines, any stories that you're looking at?
No, I just want everybody to be healthy. I mean, obviously this team won a Super Bowl last year, so they're talented. Just don't get hurt. And it was kind of nice to figure out what the heck happened with Torrey last year because we didn't even know what it was until like now. We were just like, he's hurt. And I mean, I think everybody assumed it was a leg, but no one knew exactly what it was. And him not being on PUP was nice to see. So that's good. But yeah, just everybody be healthy because I mean, there's not really I don't have a lot of question marks coming in about roster. Every positions are kind of set. We're not going to see any running back distribution until the season starts. So it doesn't even really matter how training camp looks. It doesn't matter how practice looks. We're not going to know until week one, really, till the real football lines up. So they did say Price looks good in the passing game actually. So that's nice. He's not going to play a lot in the passing game if he can't block. So, but that's the last thing rookies usually learn. So that's not like a knock on him. Just Notre Dame didn't do it. Isn't known for great passing game. So he's got to learn that in the fly in the NFL, and that's most rookies do that anyway. So especially rookie running back. So it's just what he's gonna have to do, and he's got a secret weapon, Cooper Kupp, who teaches everybody how to be better in the passing game apparently. So like lean on Cooper Kupp, I would say, but. No, everybody's healthy. I mean, Nick getting back as soon as possible, but yeah, everybody just be healthy. That's all I really care about. It's nice to see those position battles, but those usually come in preseason games, like the third and fourth quarter of preseason games. Those are what I really like to see. I like to see the late game like stuff in the preseason because that's kind of like guys who are fighting for jobs, and that's where the Torrey Hortons show up. And so, but no, nothing else other than training camp. Just be healthy now. In the past, you've always been looking at position battles, but we just won a Super Bowl, so we got the talent to do the thing. So just don't get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, you guys mentioned Horton. It'll be nice to see him in this wide receiver room, see what it looks like out on the field, how much they won three wide receivers, or who's in the two wide receiver set. I think it's, you know, it could mix up quite a lot throughout the season, especially with JSN taking the one, and then, could be
Because
Shaheed on a few plays, could be Cup, it could be
well,
Horton. Like,
because Shaheed, JSN, and Cup are all kind of slot guys. Now, obviously, JSN's gonna have to go out wide more, but like really, Horton's like their true outside guy. He's like they're really their only one, so he should be getting decent playing time just from the fact that he's really their outside guy.
I mean, I
So
would expect Arroyo to line up on the outside a bit too. I think they'll probably use him a bit more
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah, they're
the
gonna have
slot
to.
as maybe not so much on the end of the line as a blocking kind of guy, but we'll see how they
Yeah,
utilize him.
yeah.
The two
I don't want him
things,
blocking anyways. I want AJ blocking. So anyways, so in that situation, so yeah,
the story that was interesting to me was I have a Seattle Times subscription through work, so I only really can read it at work. But the headline today was Seahawks guard Anthony Bradford not worried about losing starting job, and this is something that we talked a lot about throughout the season last year. And they did draft Bo Stevens from Iowa, and so there has been a somewhat of a competition there. Uh, in the beginning of training camp, but right now it seems like Anthony is running with the ones, and then Bo is still running with the threes. So that doesn't appear to be a thing at the moment. But you never know how it could go. And you guys talked a lot about how he was the the weakest link on this offensive line. So I'm gonna ask you guys: do you expect Anthony Bradford to be there week one? I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be, frankly, since he
Anthony
has the
Bradford.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah,
but do you guys see him being the week one starter, Kevin?
Sadly, yes. Unless Bo really just like manhandles people in preseason, and I mean like it's like show stopping type deal. Like gives up zero pressures the entire time, and like run blocking looks good. Like you know, or if in the limited time we see Anthony Bradford, like he gets confused and lines up at D line for the opposing team, like which
Which, if anybody would, it probably would
it,
be him.
yeah, it probably would, and in which we would still probably start him at right guard. Um, yeah. So, I'm, like I said, sad but true. Who knows? Maybe he's gotten better. You know, um, maybe we will all win the lottery. It's,
Never
He's
know.
your
But
he's your
uh,
week one guy.
according to the story, Christian Haynes, the 81st pick in 24, is running with the second team at right tackle, or sorry, right guard. So that
oh, that's right. I
is,
forgot about the Philippines.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds
Haynes
like
is right
the
with the second team, and
yeah,
so
and
Bo's third team.
yeah, Bo's with the third team. So
I mean,
he was a fifth round pick, so I don't have huge expectations for Bo. I think the only way that he really sees the field is if Bradford goes down and he,
there's a competition for the other two between the other
yeah,
two.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
think that is where his opportunity would come. And if he takes the job there, great. But otherwise, I don't really see Bradford losing that job
I think that's always been
anytime
the plan.
soon.
You don't bank on day three guys ever playing really, and if they do, then that's great. But like they're day three guys, to be honest.
And then Sean mentioned running back. That is a position that I am kind of interested to see how it shakes out, especially with the departure of Kenneth Walker. Jadarian Price got that first round pick. I imagine he will see a bulk of it, but I would be shocked if we didn't see a decent amount of George Holani and Emmanuel Wilson, at least to start the season, while Jadarian
I
establishes
think Emmanuel
himself.
Wilson will be the guy before Alani. I
Yeah.
think they brought in Emmanuel. They knew they already had Alani, and they brought in Emmanuel Wilson. I think Emmanuel Wilson, the vet, might be the guy who gets the rock early, and they bring Price along, and then that's how, and then it slowly shifts to Price.
Yeah, and that's very much what it
I
could
like
be. But
Alani, but
I do think they'd like Holani. Um, but yeah, it's hard to say how much they like him because of these two guys that are perceived to be in front of him on the depth chart. And then when Sharps come back,
yeah,
does Holani just disappear? Does Emmanuel take like the third down role? Do they go back to what they had last year, where between the 20s is Price and then Sharps is the red zone guy? Curious to see how they utilize him.
I'm gonna be completely honest here. I'd be kind of upset if like, this indicates that Sharps comes back and is like healthy, ready to go. Not like the first time he's
Yeah,
healthy
yeah.
come back, but like he's really up and running. I don't really want to see Wilson or Halani. I want to see Price and Sharps. That's the two I want to see once they're healthy because it'll be like week 15. Price should be ready to go, be fully in, go through the thing, whatever you want to do. If he's not ready in blocking situations on third downs, whatever, like whatever you work at. But I want to see just those two playing. I don't need to see the other two. Those two are fine to get us to when Sharps is ready, and because Price is still a rookie. But at that point, near the end of the first season, those two are playing. They have to be both playing.
I think Emmanuel Wilson will be the third down uh receiving back. I think he will take on that role.
Zach Sharps is really good at the third down stuff. That's the thing.
But that my thing is that I think Sharps is going to take a while to ease back in from that injury last year, and so I think
And
the
that's why I
entire
think
season will be him easing back into it, where
well,
I
I
see
think Sharps is
Wilson
going
having
to
this role.
take when he comes back. He's going to do mostly the third down stuff, and they're still going to lean on Price for the first and second downs. And he's going to take a bulk of the carries, and Sharp will ease in as pass blocking, that type of stuff, and then maybe get some more bulk carries as the real end of the season. I don't want to jinx anything of playoff run or anything like that, but like that is what I picture. Like Sharp's ease in is the third down work because he was so much better at Kenneth Walker than that, and that's kind of what he was so good at. So I think that's what he's going to do mostly when he gets eased back in. So,
Kevin,
but
how do you
not,
view this situation?
I would say I agree with the aspect of when Sharps comes back, you probably really don't see. The only time you should see Emmanuel Wilson or Holani is in two situations. One is special teams, and two is that we're up by 40 and you're resting your starters. And so you bring them in. Like there's just no reason to that it'd be like having like essentially your starting receiving being Horton and then Bobo and then I forgot the other guy, the one that caught a touchdown last. There was two actually, but like not playing like JSN or Cup or it's. I mean, maybe you bring him in for one or two, just as like they
Like
both
Kalani
are
did last year.
best.
He gets a
Yeah,
pick
they
every
might
other
get
week.
they might
Yep.
get 2 touches
Yeah.
like on in a every other game, maybe. But like once Sharps is back, I think it's going to be more of like what Sean said. I think you'll probably until Sharps is a full go, Sharps is going to be babied back in, but that's okay. You still have Price, and like you may see it in those first maybe 1 or 2 games, you may see a couple more touches by like maybe like 5, by like Wilson or here, Helani, just for you know to limit Sharps's role. But I think after like the second or third game, it's just Price and Sharps. There's just no, unless like the doctors are like, he's full go, he's full clear, good to go. Then I think it's just Price and Sharps because there's just no point unless
If
one.
we know Sharps can hang and Price is a first round pick for a reason. I want to see those guys with the ball. I mean, Emmanuel Wilson's nice depth, but he's nice depth. I want to see the guys that, like Kevin said, I want JSN and Cooper Kupp to be getting passes. I don't need Jake Bobo to getting 40 targets. I don't want him to get
I
40.
I don't think
As much
this
as
is.
I love Bobo, I want JSN to get a bulk of those targets.
I don't know if Kevin heard the saddest news I think of last week. Kenny McIntosh was cut by the Seahawks. I know.
Yeah.
I
I think
know.
it's a special teams thing. I think he had some upside, but like you said, they already got. I think it's Emmanuel and the other two, and it's like you're getting down there. You're gonna have to play some special teams, and Kenny just isn't probably as good on special teams as the other guys are, and that's where he's gonna have to be, I think. And yeah,
Hopefully, like I said, hope it be like I think he's a good player. Hopefully, maybe we can
he
bring him
cleared
back.
waivers. He could be practice squatted technically.
Yeah.
That's
If
true.
if it's true love, you set it free, and then if it's meant to be, it'll come back.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. Well, August 15th, versus Dallas to begin the preseason. I do want to mention one other thing NFL wise. I don't know if you guys heard about the San Francisco injury update. And I'm
Yeah.
not a conspiracy theorist, guys. I am not. But something's up in San Francisco or wherever they're practicing, or something's going on there. All right? It just seems to be a regular occurrence. And I don't know if there's like an ancient burial ground or something. Like there's something weird going on there.
I'll say this:
No?
they're not even the most cursed team in the state of California. They're a bunch of babies. The Chargers are so much more cursed than the 49ers are every single year. Everything that could go wrong with a franchise goes wrong with the Chargers. And the 49ers are like, but we're hurt too. And I'm like, the Chargers, you stop talking 49ers. You can't even claim this the best.
Uh, It's
Not even in
because
your own
they
state.
it's because they moved to Los Angeles. They should have stayed in San Diego. They should have stayed in
No,
San Diego.
it is actually was worse in San Diego. Like the it is. I could go into crazy details. Actually, someone did. There's a video that I sent you that's actually kind of hilarious. That like the Chargers are actually one of the best teams in the entire league one year on offense and defense, and they didn't even make the playoffs. It's just like crazy how unlucky they got one year, and it was just like astronomical. It was crazy funny. But then like yeah, they're just and then like every year they're like okay we got this, and both their tackles explode, and then like their running back gets hurt, and it's just like everything seems to go wrong. A different thing every year, and it's just like that's the Chargers, man. It's just such a Charger thing to be. Yeah, they're not even the most hurt team in the state. They're not even the most cursed team. The Chargers are the most cursed team. But it is funny. It is funny. Well, I'll say this: like when you get a bunch of guys who are constantly hurt, it's not shocked when they get hurt. I don't know what like Debo's always hurt. I don't know what to tell you. Like
He's
like
back
Christian
now,
McCaffrey,
so we'll see what
running backs get
happens.
hurt. It's just a matter of time. Like the only one is Ricky Pearsall. Like I guess he was healthy his entire college career and has been hurt a bunch. But like you get a bunch of guys who get hurt all the time, and then like
Now,
yeah,
to Ricky's credit, he was shot the first time, so that's not his fault.
yeah.
But
But
well,
like
I guess I don't know, but
I mean,
it's
dodge the bullets.
luck. Well, as people don't want to, luck is a factor in like being healthy and doing things because like, and also there's some
yeah.
prevent. You can prevent these things with like strength training and stuff, but there's sometimes it is what it is sometimes, and you gotta do whatever you gotta do. Get some sage. I mean, the Mariners bats are supposed to be better than they are right now, but you got whatever they're doing is not working. So whatever mojo voodoo juju you got to do. I don't know what's the guy's name in major leagues. The who was the batter? The Allstate guy, the commercial.
Mayhem.
The no, the guy who couldn't hit the curveball. The guy who
Uh,
brought the Juju statue, the what do you call him? What's his name? I can't remember his name. You know what I'm talking about, though, Kevin, right?
Yes.
The guy who burns the sage and does all that stuff in the locker room. But yeah, whatever. We need that. They need that, and we need that. So I don't know. I don't feel bad for the 49ers.
and then I continue to hear Aaron Donald stories, and if he is to come back, which I still don't think is going to happen, but if he is, I bet he skips training camp entirely, and then is like, I'm in.
Yeah, why would you come
That's what.
back for
Yeah,
training?
exactly. Yeah. Why would he come back? Like it's just the whole like rumbles and Sean's like, hey, he's talking about it. It's like he's just gonna skip everything and just come back before we go.
I think there's a better than 50 chance that he does come back now. But again, he doesn't come back till after training camp. There's no way.
Oh yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah. He doesn't
maybe
work
like
after that.
set first after the first preseason game. He's like, okay, I'm ready. Basically,
I can see that. I
maybe
can
a
see
couple,
like
2 weeks
right
of
after
practice.
yeah, right after week 3, he'll get like a couple weeks of practice
Well,
in
it
or
was
something.
Walter Jones. Walter Jones, when he missed training camp, and always came back during the preseason games. And I think that's what he's going to do. He's like, I don't need all this time. I'm the vet. I know what I need. And then just like rolls it out. Question is, I mean, he didn't play for a number of years. I mean, that's what and then
Never
Stafford's
know.
getting hurt. And
Never know.
then the whole season's for naught.
Kevin, any NFL observations before we move on to the Mariners?
Yeah.
All right. My Dynasty Fantasy Draft is beginning tomorrow. Hall of Fame game Thursday. Cardinals, Panthers. It's football season, guys. It's football season. All right. Well, let us move on to the Seattle Mariners. And since our last podcast, it's been they've played baseball. They've been playing baseball. So right now they are 55 and 58 and are down 4-0 as we speak on August 4th against the Detroit Tigers at home. Sean, I'm going to throw it to you first because you went to the Mariners Twins game. Do you have your Julio? It was a bobblehead, right?
Is a Mario bobblehead, yes.
Mario bobblehead.
I have the Mario Julio bobbleheads. Yes, we got them. We got them. We figured out the time to go. We accidentally like got there a little earlier than we thought, and there's like no one in line. But then like 20 minutes later, like 400 people in line. So an hour and a half, hour 20, you'll be easily. We were like third in line at one of the gates. But then like if you were 20 minutes later, basically like an hour, you probably were still fine. But like man, it
Hour and
got
a half
so
before game time. Is that what you're saying?
yeah before
Okay.
gates opened. Before
Oh,
gates opened.
before gates open. So
Yes,
this was
because
like
gates open 2 hours
9:30.
early. Oh, if you show up at gate, you're not getting one. But like that's I don't know if anyone knows about it, but like that there's that center field gate. It went all the way around the ramp and all the way down to where the concert goes, and it went all the way down that street. And it was about 45 minutes before it opened, and it was like 500 deep at least. And so it was pretty packed. Got pretty packed pretty fast. So
Well, you saw a walk off, and what have you thought of the Mariners these last couple weeks?
awful. I hate every bit of this. Yeah, even with the walk off, it shouldn't have been that close. We can get into this. I think the Castillo trade was good because it allows another freaking bullpen arm to get in that bullpen because Frere and Bizzardo are so gassed. They're out there. Bizzardo and Frere are averaging basically pitching every other game, like until their arms fall off. And Bizzardo did that last year too. Like at some point, give the guy 3 days of rest. Like you can't lean on a guy that much. And I think just getting another bullpen arm, like I think that's the unspoken thing about this was like 6-man rotation. Yeah, and if you weren't piggybacking it, you're just literally taking a bullpen arm away and making another starter. And that bullpen, it is wearing on those guys clearly, and that needed to be done just from that aspect of it. But yeah, the bats just can't get it done, man. I wore this jersey. It's my Josh Naylor jersey. I wore it for the first time during the game. He became a league average hitter during that game, like literally just average. So he has dipped below that now in this game. So he is now back again below league average. So yeah, that's just it. It is the Josh Naylor and Cal Raleigh make me want to stab my eyeballs schedule all over again, just all over again.
Sean, I think you can only wear it while you're there to get him above, and then you're not allowed to wear it outside of the stadium.
He didn't do well the first time, so I was like, okay, well I got to wear it now because during it, someone flipped it, but he just grounded out again. So I don't know what I got to do, man. I don't know what I got to do. He ate a face full of dirt. I don't know. Whatever mojo we got to do, swap with the 49ers. Now, here's the real question. I'll tell you this.
Oh.
What if the bats can hit like they know they can for the Mariners, but that means the 49ers are healthy? Would you take that bet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I would take that deal. Um, Kevin, what have you thought of the Mariners since our last podcast?
Oh, it's so delightful. Just
Cal
watching.
Raleigh got a single.
What's up?
Cal
Ooh.
got a single. He needed it he needed it before when there were two guys on Cal, but
I
whatever.
mean, um, yeah, it's just not great, and it just kind of reiterates what I was talking about earlier. Just every game counts, and this is why. Like, next season, with like, I'll even call it into like sports radio podcast or like shows and just tell them to shut the fuck up. Just with the whole like, oh, it's early, so the early games don't matter. And it's like actually they matter more because now we essentially, for the most part, minus like one or two, we pretty much have to win every series, like to have a shot. Yeah, I know we're only three behind, but with everybody else playing, like we pretty much have to win series. Um, you can afford to lose maybe one or two, and honestly, I wouldn't even want to. I know that's the more realistic. Like that's your more realistic is you lose one or two more series and then win the rest. Like that's your prime goal. But this is why winning every like the whole starting off cold thing, like you can't do it. And then people are gonna point to like, oh, the Red Sox are doing it. They have their little thing, yeah, and they're in the last wild card seed. That they still might not make it in, and they had a trade to go get freaking Rutschman or whatever his name is, and other pieces like Mead, who's now hurt. Like to have just a chance to get into the playoffs. Like,
No, they're 5 up on Cleveland. They're definitely making the
Yeah,
playoffs
they're
at this
five up.
point. Yeah,
I don't know
but
about definitely,
the
but
issues
they got a good shot.
the issue's not like Kevin that they struggled early. It's that Cal and Josh never got out of the struggle. They just struggled the entire time. Is my
he's
issue. Is
just
like
not stuck.
if you struggled early and then hit like old Cal and Josh, we'd still be fine. They just have not hit ever at any point. They're both league average hitters, and we're paying them to be better than league average. I'm not paying Cal again to hit 60 home runs. I just don't want him to be the worst catcher on the roster. Like he can't be worse than Mitch Garver, who we cut. You can't be that.
I was almost intrigued with the prospect of like, do we like trade like a nobody piece to go get Ty France back? Because Ty Francis literally would be just a better option.
And we talked about this last time. That's kind of the tricky spot you're at. You have to roll with the guys in hopes that they just get better because like if they're not the guys, then you're screwed for like 3 years. Like that's just the reality of it. If this is Josh and Cal, you're screwed, and you have to hope they just turn it around.
Yeah.
Like you just have to.
Pitching, like I'm glad they did, even though he has been pitching better. Like I said, I'm glad they got rid of Luis. Because honestly, even if you needed to, and I was even intrigued by like if we needed to get rid of Kirby or because there's rumors of Kirby or Hancock getting traded. Um, you're still okay as we kind of mentioned because you still have Cade and you have
Sloan.
Sloan down below. Like if we could go get like a great bat for one of those, you bet your butt I'll take it. If we can get if we can get a catcher since we don't have one right now, I'd absolutely take it. Like
That's the
I
thing. You gotta roll with Cal. Like unfortunately.
it's God. Honestly, I've been thinking about just proposing to the Mariners, just put this water bottle at catcher and you'll do better. Like,
it's
it's
it's rough.
it's
It's rough
sad.
out there.
Like
It's
God.
rough.
So yeah, it's not good for Mariners fans. Like it's it's unacceptable. And the hard part is like you're seeing like Rosarena's been playing really well, and like all the other people have been doing good. It's just those two are just sucking a hard one. Like it's not
We
great.
talked about this last time, but if you told me coming into the year, Cole Young, Dominic Canzone, Luke Rayleigh, and
Colton
oh
Emerson, technically.
yeah, like they all came up and did what they're doing, I'd be like, this team is awesome. And then he told me this was the record. I'm like, what happened? And you're like, oh yeah, Cal and Josh and even Julio to a certain extent just can't play baseball, I'd be like, never would have thought that in a million years. Your three
Yeah,
best players have just not been it. Just they're not.
hopefully you get Brandon Donovan back.
He's back
Shoot.
today. He's playing.
Oh, is he? Okay.
His
And
first
so
game back.
then you just essentially you tell Crawford to go look at flowers.
He's
Crawford's on
on
the
the
IL.
IL.
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying because everybody's like, well, I've had people ask me like, well, what would you do when Crawford comes back? I'm like, you tell him to go look at flowers.
It depends. Crawford has been better than Colt Emerson, but Colt Emerson is 21. So if he comes back and they need him, then you could play Crawford a little bit more because Colt has struggled. But again, Colt struggling shouldn't matter to this team because he's your 9 hitter and a guy who's going to make mistakes. He's your Cole Young of last year. He's there to make mistakes because he couldn't even drink for most of the year, like legally drink. That it's his time to. You shouldn't be relying on a 20-year-old. They're relying on him more because the other guys aren't doing their job. So if they come back and JP Crawford has to play, then he has to play because they have to carry more weight. But Colt Emerson is like anybody mad at Colt Emerson is just like mad at the wrong people. Like he's 20 years old. Like most 20-year-olds struggle. Most
We,
rookies struggle, let alone 20-year-old rookies.
it's
Like
gonna be nice having Brandon Donovan back.
it is. And it honestly, and the thing is too, it'll be nice to have Colt Emerson go through it this year. So next year, like you see the Cole Young jump, he's gonna struggle. Cole Young struggled last year. It's okay to struggle as a kid. You learn from that, you grow from that. And so, but like now we're like, oh, Colt Emerson. I'm like, guys, like Josh Naylor and Cal Raleigh just hit, you wouldn't care. You just would not care.
Yeah, I've been able to watch a bit more Mariners games recently, so I've been tuning in. I tuned in during Texas and the LA series, and it's been rough. Especially games it feels like they could have won, just like slip through their fingers. It's just frustrating from that aspect. It was nice to see them, you know, take the series against Minnesota because they easily could have let those two games slip away. So that was at least nice to see them salvage that. And then, I was seeing and reading a lot of things about how the weekend would determine what they would do with the trade deadline, and we're running out of time here before our break. But uh, it was like, are they buyers? Are they sellers? And I I mean, you guys are a little more tapped in, but I don't think they were either. I think they were just kind of looking to upgrade a little bit. I guess you would lean buyers if anything, but I don't really think they were either of those two definitively. Um, because I do know Taylor Ward actually. He was on my fantasy team the last time I played fantasy baseball. So I do know who that is. I didn't think it was a crazy addition. Now I think what is he having a like a not as good season as he normally has? Is that right?
No, so it's just different. Usually has more slugging, so he hits the ball, but he's getting on base. His slugging went down, but he's getting on base way more. So his WRC plus is actually the same. He's just doing it differently this year.
Okay.
So I
He
guess
had
whatever.
30 plus bombs last year. He only has seven.
He has 7, but
Okay.
he's second in the league in walks. So he's like getting on base constantly.
Yeah.
Like his on base is insane.
Yeah,
So
I
like
saw that.
he
Yeah.
has the same WRC plus. He's his on base is replacing a slugging basically. So he's doing the same thing just in a different way.
And then
Yeah.
the Luis, I wasn't shocked by that. I felt like he was the pitcher who was most likely to go. Um, I don't really know who anybody they got back was. I
But he
thought
couldn't have one of them.
when I thought they said Sir Anthony, I thought it was like Sir Anthony for a
Oh,
second.
okay.
I'm like, yeah. So
He was a year prior a very good guy, bullpen guy
yeah,
for very good teams, and has struggled this year. But I mean, there is talent there, underlying talent, undoubtedly. And actually, they got the hottest prospect in all of baseball, the catcher, Boston Smith. He's a long ways off, not a worry, but like that's kind of like. And then Nolan Jones actually was a top 30 prospect like 3 years ago and had a crazy rookie year in Colorado. Just has not, and he's been bounced around a little bit, has not been able to repeat. So it's just more of like a upside swing. He's a huge guy, like plays outfield not very well, but is a huge guy and he's just going to hit bombs. Like he's one of those. He's like a Richie Sexton. Like if he gets a hold of it, it's going out any ballpark. It is no cheapies here. So, but that's going what they got. But again, it's more of like a salary dump and to free up spot to get a bullpen guy in there to help with the bullpen to take some relief. So it's kind of and you couldn't play all 6 anyways. With Kate Anderson coming, you can't play 7 guys. You know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous.
all
Like
right. Well, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Washington East West Sports. Welcome back to Washington, east to West Sports. Thank you so much to our sponsors, all of our advertisers. We're so rich off this podcast. Rich in life, really. If you want to talk about the topics we talk about, comment in the comments below, like our video, subscribe to us on YouTube. Go ahead and blue sky at us. I'm a Master B. Sean's Blade 22. Kevin is Emerald Bowler on X. Sean is Blade 22. Kevin is C to believe, SEA to believe. Let's talk a little bit more about the Mariners. So, um, I, I understand that Mariners fans are down bad as they should be. But I was just curious. Where were they last year? Do you guys remember where they were last year at this point on August 4th?
Um, I'm
I did
having a
this a
hard
couple
time.
days ago just to see how much
I'm
the panic
having
is
a hard
real.
time remembering. Did they fire Scott last year?
No.
So Dan was the head coach all of last year?
Yes.
Because I know they fired Scott like way later in the season, like
I thought it was
August 20,
23, I think.
but they fired him like
Or,
August
sorry,
20th, like
24. 24. I don't
really
think it was
late in
25.
way later in the season than I thought previously. So I don't know, probably close to this because didn't they have a like, August run where they went like crazy a little bit last
Uh,
year? Like
yeah,
two
so
games above 500? Three
they
games
the,
above?
August 4th was actually an off day. And at that point they were 1653 and 2.5 games back of first
Oh,
in the
set.
AL West.
But they're 7 games above 500. Okay.
And this was the beginning of an eight, or in the middle of the second day of an 8 game win streak that they were about to go on. So I do understand the doom and gloom from Mariners fans. I'm not going to take away from that. But the situation in terms of the division is not a whole lot different, and they're not far from the wild card. So while I am not happy with
I wouldn't
them,
say doom and gloom. I would say frustration is probably because again they're
okay,
2 games, 2.5 games out, whatever it is now at this moment. Yeah, they're clearly in it, but it's just it shouldn't be a race. It should be over. The Mariners have allowed this to be a race.
well, they put themselves in the situation. So we'll see if
Yeah.
they can find a way to dig themselves out and make a playoff run. We talked about the Taylor Ward trade from the Orioles. We talked about Castillo to the White Sox. So let me ask you guys, are they better, worse, or the same after the deadline? Sean?
I'll let Kevin go first. I've been doing a lot of talking.
Okay.
Kevin, you go.
Kevin, what do you think?
Honestly, I think they're with Ward and his ability to get on base. I think they're a little bit better. Um, and you added a little, as Sean was mentioning, you added more to where you can put more in the bullpen to kind of relieve some dudes that you've been overusing. Um, so, but like, are we like light years better? No. Like, but it like I said, this is all going to depend on Cal and Nick. Can they pull their heads out of their asses and learn how to be baseball players?
Yeah, I think they're about the same. I don't think this moved the needle a
Well,
whole lot. I
I
think they're
forgot to
about the same.
mention they are a little bit now with Brandon Donovan back. They are.
Well, I meant after like the moves they made, not necessarily guys coming back from injury, but I would agree with you. With Brendan coming back, they should be better. And I also like that they finally were like, okay, Ref Snyder's not working out, Garver's not working out. Let's bring up Paredes and let's see if we can do the thing. Like the moves are like I said, I don't think they're buying, but they're certainly not folding. I would say so. They're just going to ride it out and see if they can go on a run because there's no reason to say they can't. Obviously, the schedule, looking at it in August, doesn't look great, but that doesn't mean you can't go on a run. And I hope they go on a run because I'm going to see them play the Cubs on August 22nd. So start the run before I get there. All right, Sean, what do you think?
Those are really good. I would say they're undoubtedly better. Like Ward was what Rough Snyder was supposed to be, and Ward has objectively been good this year. So,
What if Ref Snyder rubs off on Ward?
hey, I mean,
What if
Ward
they
is
like
like
brush shoulders on the way into the clubhouse and out of the clubhouse?
what
Like,
is he like 0 for today? So maybe he did, but
yeah.
yeah, yeah, they're objectively better because again, Castillo was their worst starter. So thinning that up and then getting another bullpen guy is not they're not subtracting a lot from that. They're a better team. But to Kevin's point, none of it matters if Cal and Josh don't hit. Like none of it matters. And to a lesser extent, Julio does need to step it up too. Like if those guys don't hit, it doesn't matter at all. So they can make all the moves around it. And that's Matthew, to your point. I thought about what you said of like what Jerry and all this other stuff. I think if Dan's gone, they fire Dan if they don't make the playoffs and everything like that. Jerry's last shot is if the management hire misses again, he has to be gone. Because the team is good enough to do this. The players have not done it. The issue is if Jerry misses on two managers and can't get the third one to get the locker room right, then Jerry can't get the locker room right. That's the missing piece. Again, the bottom of the barrel, the pieces that Jerry was supposed to fix with the roster, he fixed. He didn't bank on Cal and Josh falling off the face of the like coming into this offseason, you wouldn't say that like trade Cal Raleigh, right? You wouldn't have traded Cal Raleigh. You would have signed Cal Raleigh, right?
Yeah.
And he did that. That's a good move. You would have kept Josh Naylor, right? He was awesome. And he did that. That's a good move. And obviously Julio was already signed and everyone likes Julio Rodriguez. So and those are the three that'll let him down. Not the guys that like objectively, if he had let them go, everyone would have been like, kill him or write him out of town or whatever. They would have got rid of to Jerry. The bottom of the roster was like, Jerry, what are you doing? And the bottom of the roster, other than Rob Russnyder, has objectively worked. So the part that everyone's like, man, is this going to work, Jerry? Worked. It's just the guys that didn't. But the problem is, that's Dan Wilson's job. Dan Wilson's job is to manage that locker room. And Jerry hired Dan Wilson. And it is not working, objectively, right? Like, that's not working. Like, right? Whatever's happening in there is not working. Because, again, they have a great minor league system. The bottom of the roster was fixed. It's doing well. Their pitchers are doing well, right? So, like, whatever is happening with Cal and Josh and those guys is not working. And that is not because they're not good baseball players. We've seen them be good baseball players. One guy got second in MVP voting last year. Like, they're good. So it's not working in the clubhouse. Whatever's happening is not working. That is the manager's job. And Jerry's already fired Scott. He's about to fire Dan, probably. And if Jerry fails on a third manager, then like whoever is next, let's call it Edgar Martinez. Let's keep the thing going. Edgar Martinez is the next manager. And if Edgar can't do it, the talent is there and the manager can't do it, then Jerry has to go because he can't find the right manager. Manager's job is the clubhouse, managing the personalities, doing X, Y, and Z. And if he can't do that, then it doesn't matter how good you are at the bottom of the roster. It doesn't matter how good you are at drafting. You're never going to take the next step if you can't get that guy to manage that clubhouse. And that's my bar, Matthew. I thought about what you said. That's the bar. He has to find the guy to manage the clubhouse.
Well, so here's just the weird thing, and like it's like Dan rode the wave last year to their best finish in franchise history, and for it to turn around like this.
So there's
it just doesn't seem like Dan is the problem. And I know he's probably going to get the axe after this season. I don't see how he made it through the trade deadline, to be honest with you. But it just like it doesn't seem like a Dan issue, but I think he's going to be the fall guy like Scott was.
So what is the issue?
I think it I know you guys don't like to hear this, but I think it's a culture thing. Like they just don't have a culture built around like picking each other up and like.
And I could probably agree with you. And my thing is, in the locker room, there's 25 guys. That is the manager's job to cultivate that culture. I agree. Probably the culture at the top might not be the best. We'll never know. This is all speculation. None of us in the locker room. We don't know. Although if we get enough sponsors, we can get in the locker room, right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Definitely.
So, but like, we'll never know. And there have been rumors that the culture at the top, but it is still the manager's job to cultivate that culture within the locker room. And it might be a hard job, Matthew. It might be a hard job, but that is Dan's job specifically. I'm not saying Jerry's making it easy on Dan, but that is Dan's really only job because he doesn't make the bullpen moves. He doesn't really set the lineup because those are all nerds upstairs and all that stuff now. That's really only Dan's job.
And it feels like Dan's style is not necessarily like certainly not a Pete Carroll style, like buddy, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Dan kind of seems more like a guy who's like, I'm going to let the players kind of handle this from their own perspective. And it seemed like last year it was like JP Crawford, even though he's obviously the best player on the team, was the clear leader of the team. Yeah. And that role is lacking on this team this year. And I don't know why or what the reason is.
Well, Matthew, to your point, Jerry hired Dan. And if Dan is not doing his job, that is a knock on Jerry because that is Jerry's job to get that call right, to hit that spot. Because I think all of us didn't really like or make sense of the Dan Wilson hire anyways when it was first made because he had never been he came from the booth downstairs to manage a team, like a Major League Baseball team. It was kind of like, what is this? And I think that was a crazy move. And if he does it again and it doesn't work again, he has to go at that point because that's the thing preventing the next step.
Well, the thing is though, it's also the question of if you get rid of Dan, who do you bring in? And it kind of feels like we
Aaron
all
Goldsmith apparently because it's someone from a booth. Like that's
well,
what they did last time.
it kind of feels like they hired Dan because of the name brand and the history with the organization.
But that's the
We,
wrong way to do it. I feel like.
well, I agree.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of like I really hope they don't do like go to Edgar or try to get each like I
I
please
hope.
like go out of the realm of former Mariners and like
I
hire a
would.
dude who I don't necessarily need like previous managerial experience, but a guy who's maybe coming on the up and up as a manager or something like that.
There was is it's not Haggerty. It's like is it not Sean O'Malley? There was a guy in the Mariners minor league, and I think he works for the Rangers now. It was a manager that was coming up, and he's an ex-Mariner player, but he's like really sought after, and he got picked. And I was like, if they open it, he could come back. Not as like he was like a utility guy. I can't remember his name, but other ones I would mention. It is an ex-Mariner, but for a different reason. Joey Cora has been a manager for a long time, third base coach, been around a lot of teams. I wouldn't mind giving a Joey Cora type because he's not just an ex-Mariner. He's put in the work. You know what I mean? Like he's done the thing.
Fair enough,
Or if you
fair
want
enough.
to keep it in that locker room because maybe it's just a Dan thing, Manny Acta has been very good for a long time, I feel like, and he's still there. Perry Hill doesn't want it, so it's never going to be Perry Hill, but Manny Acta has been in that locker room for a long time. Edgar doesn't want the job. Edgar is like a part-time hitting coach. He's never going to be like, I'm a full-time coach now.
And they also
Manny
fired a hitting coach, which we didn't even talk about, and
They fired
no.
assistant hitting coach, which
Yeah,
is
like
just like
whatever,
I don't
a
whatever.
dude.
So I think Jerry has to hit the next one because I don't think the clubhouse locker room because it was on cruise control last year. They're so talented, and Cal having an MPP guy just going nuts is gonna grease over a lot of issues. It's gonna cover a lot of issues. And now that it's
Well,
not
that
an
and
issue,
Dan's job last year was don't rock the boat. Don't.
yeah,
It's working. Like just
I feel
keep
like
it.
he has to
Just
actually
stay
do
there.
something now, and he's unable to do something. I don't even know what it is, but like again, there's enough talent on the roster to be one of the best teams in the American League, if not baseball, and they're not. And so the issue is like, why is it not? It is not clearly the players in the players in the locker room have enough talent to do this. Why are they not doing it? And I
And
mean, that's something they have to
and
ask.
and I will say, obviously, I think the players on the roster are talented enough, but last year was one year, and then the surrounding years have been good to find. So obviously, I like Cal and Josh and Julio as people and as players, but if we get 2 to 3 years down this road after that, deep run that we've the farthest in franchise history, and nothing has really progressed, maybe we do move on from some of these guys. Maybe we do, and I don't want to say that as like I hate them, but maybe it's just not working. Like maybe it's just not working, and this is obviously an overreaction because it's been 1 year since our
Not even a
furthest in
full year.
yeah.
Not
So,
even.
but at the same time, like that is one thing that I do appreciate about certain GMs is the ability to say, you know what, this isn't working, and move on if you really have to from a guy who is a fan favorite, who brought you a lot of wins, who brought you some stuff. Sometimes you have to make the tough call. And, I mean, we saw it with the Russell Wilson trade. And, obviously it wasn't great at the time. We were all pretty upset, but ultimately it seems to be have been the right move at this point. So it's hard to knock it when it appears to have worked. So, Kevin, where are you at on all this?
Yeah, it's tough because, like as Sean mentioned, you kind of already screwed if they don't figure it out because you have them under contract, and then if they suck, like you have to try to find teams that are willing to like take that and the contract, which is
Well, like the issue is like, how long do you wait? You can't just like cut Cal after this year, obviously, because that'd be like
no,
gigantically stupid. But like, it had to be like 2 or 3 years, not of this level, because if he's this level, you can't play Cal next year. But like, if he's
yeah.
just not good, it has to be like 3 years of this. And that, unfortunately, if you get 3 years of that, that is sabotaging your seasons, basically.
Well,
And
I'll ask you this: if Cal repeats this season again next season,
like, is this absolutely this bad? He just does this
yeah,
again?
So for me, when I heard
Yeah.
the Adley Rutschman trade, I know that name because the Orioles were like the up and up. They won 100 games. Oh, it was like 2 years ago. They were in the playoffs. They were like they had
Yeah,
built it.
but
They had done it, and then it just fell off a cliff. And
their
for them
their
to
advanced
trade
metrics.
Adley Rushman at this point was like, oh, maybe they're
Ad-
just like, all right, well
Ad-
then it didn't work, and we're trying to
Adley
did.
is not Adley anymore. That's the issue, Matthew.
Yeah, exactly.
None of those guys took a step. Adley's not very good. Is the problem? He's not that guy. Is the issue? And like again, even when they were doing great, their underlying numbers were not the best. Like so, it was kind of like a flash in the pan. Like a couple years ago, when the Royals did a bunch of things, and obviously they suck. Like yeah, they weren't going to be very good. Like 1 year's lie a lot of the time, which I'm hoping next year 1 year lies. But like you could like it could just be this, you know what I mean? Like it could just be that they're like this, and just I hope not for goodness sake, but like yeah, like it could just be this. But I just think there's too much talent, and the underlying numbers also back it up that they're so much better than this. It's just like maybe this is just a year that just like sometimes great teams just have a year where it's just like weird, it just happens. It's baseball, it's sports, human variable. Like Cal just got tired or something, like the innings. He has played a lot of baseball, and he played World Baseball Classic. He's just has a lot of innings. He played like 158 games last year as a catcher. Now, he didn't catch all of them, but he still hit in 158 games. Like, that is an insane amount for a guy who plays catcher and then played playoffs and then played World Baseball. I don't blame him if his body fell apart, but like we and Jerry and Dan have to do a better job of managing that. Like, that's what
Yeah,
has
and
to
and
happen.
with Cal's season last year, he can have the benefit of the doubt this year. Like I understand he's
Yes.
not playing great,
All
but
three of
I
those
think he's
guys get
earned the
better.
benefit of the doubt this season.
All three of them absolutely do.
Now
Like,
next season, then we might have some questions
yeah,
and
like to
some,
Kevin's point, like we
like
have
what do
to
we do?
start having a
Yeah.
conversation. Like if Cal's like not MVP Cal or something like this, like the runway gets longer, the better he is. But if he's this bad, like objectively, like 500 OPS, even next year a conversation has to be had. Like Cal 2 years back to back is a 500 OPS. That's a problem. Like that's a very very big problem. You just can't be that bad for 2 years running. Like
So
that's real bad. So, but hopefully that's a bridge when we get to it. And Hadley Rutschman is 28. Hadley Rutschman's he just hasn't played a lot. Hadley Rutschman has not played 100 games in 3 years.
and Cal was hurt early in the year, so again, he gets a
It's
minor pass this year
and again like
for
we talked, it's like there's
you know
so much hype this year coming into it, and like and this was the year that all three of their big guys, of course, the year after the two of them sign, that they fall apart. Of course, that's just how the most American thing ever. But like, yeah, it really can't happen another year because again, windows are small. Like they have this great pitching staff. They built this team together. You just kind of wasted a year of it. You know what I mean? Like, how often can you keep rotations like this? How often can you do this? You need
and
to
it's also
capitalize.
with the potential of no baseball next year, it makes it even worse. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just like
that's true.
we
I
could be
I don't
waiting
I
another
forget
year
that.
to see if it what happens, if so it's just kind of like the worst timing to have some of your worst seasons. But
Yeah, it's been no
I know
baseball.
Kevin's got to go, so we will wrap it up here. So let us know what you think of the Mariners in the topics below. Comment, like this video, subscribe to our channel, blue sky at us. We might be back next week, but if not, we'll definitely be back following the Seahawks' first preseason game. We'll see where the Mariners are at, and maybe I'll give a little preview before I go see the Cubbies because I haven't seen the Cubs play and check another MLB team off the list. So, with that, we will see you next time on Washington East to West Sports. Bring back our Sonics, like for real.